DJ, hit my music. Good evening, ladies and d-gents. We are live once again, week 3 in Harbor Discussion Studio. I'm one half, Steve, Big Bucks, Beyta.
Living up to that name.
With me, as always, my co-host, my partner in crime, Jason, Mansmann. What's going on, bud?
Yo, I told people about that 9 or 6.5.
You not only told them that, we also handicapped them minus 10.5. I also handicapped the Giants under 16.5 points.
We like the under for the game.
Danny, I don't know if we threw this out there, Danny Dime, but we did have this chat privately. Danny Dime's interception, plus 102.
That's
also hit, although a very last-minute late fourth quarter.
Hey, it counts.
But it counts. And my D-Gent same game parlay, which I posted on our Twitter at twitter.com/DGentPodcast. Same game parlay, 5 legs, 12-1. Cashed money last night. Up $200 just from the Thursday night game. We still got a whole Sunday, Monday to go. So I'm feeling pretty fucking good, and I think
it's time to play that Goldschlager, buddy. Let's go.
Yes, sir. We had a Schlager Tuesday, or at least I did, just from the Sunday profit, but from Thursday alone, I mean, we have to celebrate accordingly. We haven't had too many of these last year, so
2 days in a row we've both profited. I'm up like a hundo from like Monday, and you're up much more than that.
Is it early? DJ John, do we have the fire?
Oh, we do not.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is this a heater?
Oh, you're on a heater. Big Bucks is on a heater.
We'll do this. You go to hell. Just because hell's hot, I guess.
All right, we'll go with that.
Close enough, guys.
Yeah, like I said in the recap, guys, if you guys didn't check out that video, it is on our YouTube page, and we are now out on Spotify.
Yes, sir.
Check out our recap. Profited 19 units last week, and now up another 200, so we're just going to keep racking that up. Hit a majority of my bets. I didn't have a numbers tally, but I can tell you I only lost 8 of my 5 bets.
That's 66%. That's pro better numbers right there, buddy.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, shit.
We're fucking live. We're doing it live.
Yeah. Gonna be a tougher week this week.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live.
Fuck it. All right. With that, cheers to you, bud.
Yeah, cheers to you, buddy.
All right.
Cheers to all you winners out there. Stay classy, D-Gents.
We got the Schlager and what else?
Well, Mansmann here.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
In our week 2 video, Mansmann went heads up with me for the first. We call it the Cinerator bet, but we couldn't find the Cinerator this time, so Mansmann decided to bring the Blaze that he found in the store, other cinnamon whiskey that he found, and he went heads up with me 4.5 points on the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants game. Now, to be fair, and I might post the video later, I'm not going to force him to take the Blaze. I think we're in too good of a mood. We're already celebrating. We've moved on.
I'm going to get to the Blaze when we get to the Cardinals game.
So. You know what? That's fair. We can get there. We can do that. But I will say, in fairness to him, he had given up by halftime.
In fairness, your bet was so bad, you admitted defeat by halftime.
He accepted defeat. He took it like a man. And then the Cardinals still blew it, and the Giants came back.
I think I should be blamed. That's how bad of a stretch I was on before, like, the last 2 days, where literally I give up on a bet, and the team loses. Like, I doomed the Cardinals when I took that play.
There was a lot of witchy, like, second-half comeback games. The Cardinals was one. The Seahawks was another. Washington Commanders against the Broncos, for fuck's sakes. Wow. That was another. Like, there was a lot of games like that. And going into week 3, I'm going to have certain opinions about those next follow-up games coming up. Mansmann, I'm not sure if we gave the over-under on the Thursday night game, but we did get 1-0 ATS and straight up to start. What are your overall feelings going into this Sunday slate? I know you said you weren't excited. You said we were about to fight. I mean, how bad are we looking?
This is going to be a tough week. You're going to see. Like I said, I got a different strategy this week. I looked at every dog first and then basically the dog was my default and went off that. So you're going to see a lot different Jason Money Mansmann this week. A lot different.
Yeah, as for me, there's a lot of, I will say there were some games that just a lot of high numbers. My spreads are not going to match the money lines like they have the last 2 weeks, for the most part, just a spoiler alert. And then on top of that, I think, there's, like I mentioned with the games like Washington, Arizona, I know we faded the Giants on Thursday. A lot of games with a lot of close comebacks. They're now coming back up, and they're coming up against either tougher opponents or just really weird situations all around. Definitely a lot harder to handicap this time. I actually, literally, right before we started, was getting around to my last game. So
I'm wondering if this is going to be a week I sit out, because you have one sit-out week for the contest. I'm wondering if this is a sit-out week. But by the way, my contest play is I'm up to 6-10 on the year.
Okay.
After a bad start, I went 4-1 last week. I'm just outside the money now. I'm creeping.
And I hear with the contest, the goal is by week 4, you just want to be 500. And after that, it's when you have to, actually step on the pedal.
Yeah, really the key point is to be consistent, because people are going to drop out. And if you could get 60% throughout the year and, the minimum, and then have better weeks, put you in a good position. And there's 11 G's to the winner of that contest. So
We'll be rooting for you, Money Mansman, as always.
Appreciate that.
I'm 2-0 in my Survivor right now. I think I'm just at 60% with my pick'em, my weekly pick'ems. You ready to jump into week 3, bud?
Hell yeah, buddy. Let's make that motherfucking money.
Let's make that motherfucking money. All right, kicking this shit off. The Cleveland
Sound idea. We gotta get Butters. Better make that motherfucking money.
Oh my God, we need that.
Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna write that down.
Write that down.
Write that down.
See, that's producer John right there.
Good idea.
Check him out, Harbor Discussions.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what? Yeah, we'll kick it off with an ad, quote unquote live ad, real quick. Harbor Discussions.
Yeah, because this will come out pretty soon.
You just released your live set. End it.
Yeah, so if any of you listeners are into hardcore music, you're probably familiar with the band End It from Baltimore, and probably Jive Bomb. They're some of the biggest bands to come out of Flat Spot Records, who just put a record show as well as a collaboration out with The Hundreds, which is a big skate brand. They did a free show in Baltimore. End It, Jive Bomb, and Polar View played. All 3 of those sets are out. I just released an interview today with the band War on Women, which they've been around for over a decade in Baltimore, so they're a pretty big band.
Veterans of the scene, to say the least.
Definitely. Also, I'm starting to be more consistent with my uploads. So Thursdays is when you can expect an interview to come out, or Friday if I'm lacking. Sometimes I'm lacking. But I also plan to upload at least one live set or some other kind of bonus video. Like today, I uploaded a reaction to a new release from a band called Putrescine. The bassist of Jive Bomb, Ethan, he plays in that band, as well as a band called Sinister Feeling, who makes up most of the band Putrescine. Either way, just go check out Harbor Discussions for live sets, interviews, and more.
Right on, Producer John. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
All right. We're going into the 1 o'clock slate, Eastern Time. Odds are through FanDuel. However, we at the Distinguished D-Gents always advertise. Go look at your books, spread them out. Make sure you get your best odds that you can get. Starting with this one, the Cleveland Browns, coming off the Monday night loss to Pittsburgh, hosting the Tennessee Titans as 3.5-point favorites, minus 194 on the money line. Titans are plus 162, road dogs, over under 39.5. Money Mansmann, I defer to you.
Just one more time, what's the line you had on that one?
3.5.
Okay, that's what I have. Okay, gotcha. This game was hard for me. This almost was my dog of the week. I really wanted to play Tennessee. Cleveland has no business being.
You hear that? That was the family dog upstairs. She heard the dog of the week.
Yeah. Sorry, Bella. Didn't quite make it. The Chubb injury is massive to me. And we saw what Deshaun Watson looked like last week. It wasn't good.
You are on the public side, just to give you a heads up. It's a public dog.
Yeah, here's what stopped me. 6 straight wins against the South for Cleveland. 5 straight failed covers against the AFC North for the Titans. So like a double whammy, which is why I didn't want to play it. But the number of 3.5 seems really high to me. I like how Tennessee bounced back last week when I had basically written them off as deceased. And while that Cleveland defense is good, I have no faith in their offense. I have no faith in their offense without Nick Chubb. And the coaching advantage definitely goes to Vrabel. So 3.5, it was close to my dog of the week, but I think Tennessee is the way I'm looking with the points here.
Siding with the public. All right, we're starting off strong. We have 2 situations. We have a team who barely won in overtime against a horribly coached defense, just horribly coached all around in Brandon Staley, versus a team who, let's be honest, barely lost to a stellar defense, a horrible offensive coordinator, and that's right, Kenny Pickett. If you get this at 3.5, because the line I think opened at 2.5, maybe 3. If you waited to get it at 3.5, congratulations. I think Tennessee's going to get this cover. I'm with you on that end. 3.5 is the magic number on my end as well. This really is a hard pick, and this is just so hard to back the Titans in my mind. I mean, road dog, they've lost 4 in a row, 5 of their last 6. They did cover the last 2, though. Tennessee failed to win or cover against the AFC North in 5 straight games, like you mentioned, 7 of their last 8. In the wise words of a masseuse, I'm not touching Deshaun Watson. This game is just like this just seems like a trap game where you look at the stat like Big Bucks Beyta in 2020 when he started gambling would have took the Cleveland Browns here because he would have looked at the stats and just would have said, you know what, the Cleveland Browns seem to have the AFC South's number. They seem to be pretty good. Titans can't seem to beat the AFC South, but the Titans, who I also wrote off as dead, they came back and beat Brandon Staley. They came back and won 27-24 in overtime. So this Titans team just does seem to have life again. And I hate to say it, I'm back on the train. I know I hopped off of it last week. It's pathetic, but I'm not backing Deshaun Watson here. Cleveland looks scrappy too. I give them that, but that Pittsburgh defense, they just completely collapsed Deshaun Watson. I have never seen Deshaun Watson, even in his time in Houston, he has never made this many mistakes. Deshaun Watson, I think, is done.
Yeah,
he's
washed.
Literally pushing a ref, face mask every 3 plays. I don't like what I saw with him. And there's just too many turnovers, too many penalties. This team is undisciplined. And I think Kevin Stefanski's days are number 2. And supposedly, I don't know if you saw the news, Deshaun Watson allegedly, and I do emphasize allegedly, created a ghost account on Twitter to reply to all the social media posts about the Cleveland game, and they blew it. Basically blaming his offensive line, blaming his coaching. Just not, literally trying to defend himself without defending himself. But, yeah, and that's just, to me, that's loser mentality. And losers focus on, losing. Winners focus on the game ahead. Yeah. And I'm going with the Titans here.
Focuses on the massage he has after the game. So
yeah, so Titans plus 3.5. That is the play here. Money line, you could be careful. I wouldn't play it. I'm going under 39.5 here. And again, this is just the Titans defense. Say what you will. I know the chart. I would say you look at the Titans week 1 against New Orleans. We knew Derek Carr sucked. They barely scraped out of that alive at 15. Sorry, I forgot.
16-15.
16-15. That's right. It was 16-15. That's why I got the number mixed up. They barely scraped out of that with the cover, but, they held New Orleans to 16 with a bad Derek Carr offense. And even with Justin Herbert, 24 points, relatively low for a supercharged, no pun intended, but supercharged offense. So I think the Titans defense is not one to overlook. And like you said, Cleveland's defense is also stellar, and I think the real question is, are they going to stop Derrick Henry? I don't know if they will, but I just don't see any offensive output without Nick Chubb. I know they got Kareem Hunt back, and maybe we'll see him, but yeah, it just remains to be seen whether Cleveland has any hope at this point.
Yeah, I'm actually on the over just because, and this was really sort of a look at last week type play. Pittsburgh had no offense. 48 points were scored in the game. Like, to me...
Yeah, but But are the Titans going to get a pick six? Are the Titans going to get a sack fumble return for a touchdown?
Yeah, I would say that if it was just the Steelers' defense made amazing plays, like is Deshaun Watson going to stop being Deshaun Watson? Like I think that's who this guy is. He's good for 2 turnovers a game.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's not my over of the week or anything, but yeah, I'd lean to the over because I think that's like an anti-Barney over because everybody's going to be thinking, oh, good defense.
Now, I'll tell you this before we go into the next games. There is supposed to be like some sort of tropical storm, hurricane type weather coming in through the East Coast this weekend. Cleveland being next to the Great Lakes, they are at home. Is this going to be a game where it's just all run? If it does start raining.
Well, that is true. You gotta every one of these overplays. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Which I know we're not weather handicappers, generally speaking. You know, I'm gonna bring up another weird point later in the pod, but with this big storm, with multiple games being affected, it's something you gotta actually keep in mind.
Potentially. Like I'm not sure if the game here in Washington is gonna be or Baltimore. It might.
Baltimore and Washington, yes. New England, yes.
It might, but the rain might actually. There's like supposed to be a break in the rain Sunday for like a little bit of time. I was looking on like my radar app because I was curious about that.
Yeah, I'm checking now. It actually looks like it might be clear. So
yeah, we don't know, but again, be mindful. Game day, really, especially with the over-unders.
Yeah, this might be a game day play. I mean, if I'm taking it spread now, I'm taking the Titans 3.5. If it comes game day and it's like storming up like a mother and this 9 goes up to 4, I'd be hammering the Titans.
I actually think any East Coast game, maybe the 1 o'clock games, I may bet day of. Even if the numbers are bad, because if there's like rain, I'll tell you when we get to one game where the weather's going to be a big impact. But yeah, like depending on the game, weather could have a really massive impact. So
yeah, it looks like Cleveland will be okay. It looks like they'll be sunny. So, but it was something I literally just thought of. But with that said, we'll jump to the next game. Speaking of losers, Money Mansman's short that I threw out there. These guys are losers. The LA Chargers traveling to Minnesota, now plus 1.5 road dogs, minus 104 and a pick 'em with Minnesota. Minnesota's minus 112. Over under is 53.5. And my fair warning to you guys on this play is you really, really, really need to research your sports books wherever you can get it, because this line has been flipping back and forth. Lately, though, the Vikings do seem to be the 1.5 favorite, but I've turned around 1 minute and the Vikings were a 1-point dog. I think DraftKings had at Vikings at +1 at minus 110 for a while before it flipped. Both teams coming off back-to-back losses. Money line and a heads up. This is a big bucks beta play here. Fade the non-conference road team. Especially when it's the AFC, especially when it's the LA Chargers, under any circumstance you possibly can. In fairness, I might be chasing losses with the Titans because I hopped off that train last week against the Chargers, and now I'm just trying to recoup. But no, this is like I know a lot of the sharps think like this is like just a teaser play. An over-under play because nobody can make heads or tails with this game. I think they like really haven't done their research in part because this is like a prime Viking spot here. And I know 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins at home killed us the last week in week 1. But the Vikings are actually really good against the AFC, and specifically they're really good against the AFC West with Kirk Cousins. 4-1 straight up with Kirk. They've beaten the Chargers twice in a row. 4-1 straight up against the Chargers in the last 5 matchups. And, I mean, it's like you said, the Chargers are losers. and this line keeps flipping. And I finally think it's on the right side. And, like, I'm essentially getting a pick'em for a team who, 4 out of 5 times that team wins. 4 out of 5 times against that division, this team wins. And this line being super low, if you got it at plus 1.5, even better. Like, that would have been, like, really smart. But, no, I'm backing Minnesota at home again. 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins. Like, I know he had a bad spot. Maybe the Bucks are for real. I don't know. Money Mansmann, like, where are you going with this?
Yeah, one thing you left out with the numbers, and the Vikings ones are good, but don't forget the Chargers, 6 straight covers as road underdogs against the NFC. They're actually good as road underdogs.
Now, I saw that stat, but I ignored it. The reason is because this line keeps slipping and jumping back and forth. So I pretty much tried to just stick with what are these teams at.
Yeah, I saw that line too. And I ignored it as well. Now, don't get me wrong. This is more of a teaser play for me. I will say.
This if you're going to bet this and you want to be safe, the teaser is the route.
Yeah,
I agree.
It's probably more of a teaser for me because I don't like playing these 0-2 like desperation, disappointment type teams. I don't know. I just don't like these games. Like personally, weird things tend to happen and. They're very sort of high variance type games, so I don't really like to play them.
Both defenses suck.
But I'm going with Minnesota here. I think at home is
they looked really good against Philly too. Let's take that into consideration.
I think they've played I think you could argue they played the better competition. You could. I think you could say they should have won week 1.
Well, the Chargers lost to Miami, who...
No, they lost at home to Miami, which is...
even worse.
Different. And then they lost at Tennessee, which was an inexcusable loss last week.
Because they had the lead. The Chargers, it's almost like the Broncos in some sense. I feel like they're going to find a way to lose this. Austin Eckler might not be playing again this week. And then I think the Vikings, they traded for Cam Akers, which I know is a weird sort of trade, but if Alexander Madison isn't the guy, I saw what Cam Akers did in the last few weeks of the 2022 season. Cam Akers is a dog. He fucking eat.
Something. Yeah, he might have something left. Yeah, actually, it'd be weird. Like, this isn't what I'm going to do, but 4 straight first half wins as road underdogs against the NFC for the Chargers. I'd almost be tempted to play this first half. Because,
what's the line?
Because the Chargers are losers. Let's see. I have DraftKings.
Well, we
basically pick them first half.
Well, we said this about the Chargers, like in our playoff handicaps last season. Chargers first half.
It could be
I would play it.
It could be a Chargers.
But even think about it. Look at the other 2 games. They were up in the first half against the Dolphins. They were up in the first half. I would honestly lock that. That would be a lock. Yeah, I might play that. If you don't, I might.
If you're going to play it, I have to.
I might play Chargers first half, Vikings second half. Truth be told. That's just too tempting.
Or double chance? Double chance?
Oh, God. Is that going to be the court play for the week? We'll see. Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, well, you...
What's your over-under play?
Oh, yeah, let me get my over-under. It's so high.
It's jumped 4 points since open.
What? Is it still 54?
It's 53.5.
53. Oh, okay, I get it.
But it was, I think, I'm checking covers.com right now.
I have no choice but to go with the over here. The number's so high, but these teams have no defenses.
It jumped 2 points. It opened at 51.5.
I think there's no other choice but to play the over. I can't justify an underplay with these. This could be 38-35.
These defenses suck.
Yeah.
They're not good. The Chargers have given up. They gave up 27 to the Titans. They gave up how many to the Dolphins? Even New England held them to 24. I'm getting ahead of myself here. All right, jumping into the next 1 o'clock.
Oh, just real quick, too. Chargers last 4 have gone over, so they're a deadbolt over team. See, bolts. Lol.
Lol. Okay. All right, next game. New York Jets coming off a loss against the Dallas Cowboys. Come back home. 2.5 point home dogs plus 128. against the Patriots, and Bill Belichick coming off a Sunday night loss against the Miami Dolphins, -2.5, -152. Over-unders at 36.5. Why? Literally, why? You know what, Producer John, I need you to just hit that Chewbacca
That's
button.
what I thought.
Does not make sense.
One more time. Just
That does not make sense.
the Patriots.
Day.
-2.5. Okay, Sportsbooks of Vegas, I need you to pay attention here. What the fuck are you doing? Are you trying to fuck with people? You are making this too easy. I get the Patriots lost 2 in a row. I also know the Jets have lost 2 in a row. You're telling me that Zach Wilson, with home field advantage, only 2 points? Like, are we fucking high? Bill Belichick is a co-owner of the New York Jets.
No, he's the owner. Woody Johnson is his secretary.
This line opened at 3. Like, I have a feeling, like, okay, so but I'll give you that. You opened it at 3. What the fuck are we doing, folks? It's 2.5? Are you shitting me? What did Zach Wilson do in the last 5 games of his life? What makes you think he's even going to have a lead in any game or even get a win here? Has he even had a successful drive lately? Are you that down on Mac Jones? I don't get it. Like, I think Mac Jones is a mediocre quarterback, but are we really comparing him to Zach Wilson?
I think they had a stat on one of the podcasts I listened to. I could be wrong. They said that Zach Wilson's career QBR against the Patriots was like 18.
Are you shitting?
Averages like 112 yards a game against the Patriots.
That is like, this is a no-brainer. Mac Jones, 2 full games this season. 4 touchdowns, 2 picks, 68.8% completion percentage. So call it 69. Nice. 547 passing yards, 88 QBR. He's accounted for all but 1 touchdown this season. 6% sack rating, if you're even into that. Let's compare it to Zach the MILF Hunter here. Same 2 games. 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, 54% completion percentage, 310 passing yards, a 53 QBR, 10% sack percentage. Now, forgetting all of that for a minute, Belichick still owns the Jets. Best bet, favorite of the week, New England Patriots -2.5.
I hope you people are listening out there. Double best bet. Double best bet. New England Patriots. Here, I'll give the numbers. 14 straight wins against the Jets.
1-4.
I think it's 11 straight covers as favorites. Besides all of the things that Big Buck said. Folks, this, I know it looks scary. It looks trapping.
No, it doesn't.
And not to us it doesn't.
No, there's nothing scary or if this was like 12.5, maybe. If this was New England -5.5 on the road against the Jets, okay.
And
sure.
especially, too, like, you look at Breece Hall complaining about his carries. The team trying to rally around Zach Wilson because they know like, could you imagine? First off, it's going to be bad weather. That's perfect for Belichick. Bad weather,
Do you remember, and I'm sorry to bring this game up, for those of you who think Bill Belichick and bad weather don't get along, New England Patriots against the Buffalo Bills Monday night.
Fucking bad.
Super wind, 50 miles an hour. Belichick literally won the game. Like,
He will do that, and Zach Wilson will turn the ball over at least 2 times. And this
absurd.
Jets O-line is dreadful.
they're bad. I make fun of some other O-lines. This one's bad. I don't know. I don't know why Sharps and even the like literally even the public, I think, like, it's only 57-43. I thought this would be a lot higher. Like, I don't get it.
I still think it's the Aaron Rodgers effect. Like, I think people thought that this Jet. To me, say what you want. Like, honestly, to me, when you look at the Jets, the Bills handed them the game week 1, and they got completely exposed. I mean, let's be honest. Dallas basically, like, quit in that second half.
The last time the New York Jets defeated the Patriots, not only was Barack Obama still president, the NFL had franchises in St. Louis, San Diego, and Oakland.
Oh, here's another fun one. The Jets' last 11 games, their opponents have been first to 10 points. Like, in this game, that could be the game in bad weather. If New England gets to 10 first, that could be the game.
Ramondre Stevenson, I think he's actually been looked down a lot. He's actually like a really rare, but I think I normally don't play Patriots players in DFS, but he's one I'm actually going to really look at playing this week when I do my DFS
I'm gonna have to
lineup.
play him in fantasy. I was going to sit him. But...
No, I think this is a game you have to. No, Patriots all the way. Double best bet. We're off to a hot start, Mansmann. I think we're not.
That's crazy, double best bet. I'm shocked because for a minute I thought you were going to go Jets. But yeah, I saw this and I was like, please stay at 2.5. Like, please.
Yeah, no, I made this my best bet. I've already put it in. And don't get me wrong, I know the Jets defense. The defense that lost 30 to Dak Prescott didn't get a pick. I mean, Dak's the interception king.
Oh, jeez.
I don't get it.
It's on DK. It's -2.5, -120.
Are you serious?
I'm about to put it in.
It's -115 on FanDuel.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Okay. I still have FanDuel then.
This is why, folks, you check your sports books because you might get better odds for the same damn number.
Yeah. Why don't you give your over-under play while I play this before it goes?
Well, I originally had it at over 37.5, but with the impending weather, it's an underplay. If this is bad weather, Zach Wilson's not... Let's be real, even if it was good weather, Zach Wilson's not going to do a damn thing. If it is bad weather, look for Ramondre Stevenson to get the game. Pat's 7-1 straight up as... last nugget. 7-1 straight up as road favorites in their last 8. 5-2-1 ATS. They've covered 5 straight against the Jets. I'll pull this up real quick, but... I was going to say, I think New England is a dead under team when they're on the road. I'm going to pull that right up here. But yeah, no, this is a pending weather situation type of game. Because originally I was thinking over because I think Zach Wilson and the Jets could score 10. And I could see New England maybe getting 28-30 in like a blowout. So like the Jets defense was not good last week. New England kept it close with Miami, and I forget who they played. Oh, they played the Eagles week 1, 25-20. I mean, this just seems like a step-down game for an over to hit. New England on the road since last season, 5-4 on the over. So, you know what? Actually, I'm just going to... Sorry, folks. I'm going to change this to the under. I'm going under 37.5. Mansmann, what's your play?
Yeah, especially with the weather, this is going to be an ugly game. Dead under here. The only problem is the number's really low, which makes it sort of less favorable.
I mean, even if you think this game's going to be ugly, 16-9. Yeah, I could see that. I'm going with the under. I'm hammering that. Okay, you ready for the next game?
Yeah, next game. What do we got?
Houston Texans traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Another AFC South battle. Texas taking 8.5 points, plus 310 on the money line. Minus 390 for the Jags, over under 44.5. Any day now.
I'm trying to find... where the hell do I have the game? Oh, my God. Maybe you want to present this one first, too?
Sure, why not?
Sorry, thank you for that.
Plus 8.5.
I'm being a bad co-host.
That's okay. Jesus still loves you.
Does he though?
Yeah, the Jags, they did what they do against the Colts. They got smoked by the Chiefs, who really wasn't even, the Chiefs didn't even really look that good, in my opinion. Spoiler alert. It was 17-9. And now Jacksonville's home again, where, like I said, witchy, crazy things happen, but I'm getting the Texans and CJ Stroud plus 8.5. That's the lock to me. And I'm not 100% certain this is a money line play, but I am making it a play here. Texans money line, Texans plus 8.5. Prior precedents, flow chart. The Texans own the Jags in Jacksonville. They've won and covered 5 straight. All as underdogs in Jacksonville. And it's weird but true. The only teams the Texans have beaten on the road since Deshaun Watson left are AFC South teams. And here we are with the Texans on the road against a division opponent. It really wouldn't shock me if the Texans pulled this off. And especially with the way the Jags have looked recently. I know we talked about how Chris Jones returning for the Chiefs was going to make a difference. Trevor Lawrence looked awfully bad. And he actually looked pretty bad in the first half against that Colts game. It literally just kind of got out of hand and they just took it over towards the fourth quarter. And like I said, I think this Jags team is just a one and done powerhouse as far as that division goes. This game might prove that point. I don't know. What did they do last week? They got dressed. They tied their shoes. They had a full lineup. And CJ Stroud, say what you will, I know they were garbage time stats. I know they were garbage time points. But looking at his Ravens game, that was another close game where they kept it as close as they could until it just sort of got out of hand and there was nothing they could do. He only had 1 sack fumble as his only turnover compared to, Cinderella of Jacksonville. 3 fumbles and a pick on the season. 0 touchdowns, 3 picks in his last 3 matchups against Houston. I don't know. You look at this game, you hear, I'm going to lay money on Houston, and you throw up in your mouth a little bit. But, what's more realistic here? Does Houston find a way to win this, or does Jacksonville fumble and lose? And 5 times in a row, you question the Houston Texans. And like I said, this isn't really a big money line play, but I think Texans plus 8.5 with CJ Stroud, I'd be willing to take it. So 8.5 is the play for me.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. I just had to. I had a profit boost. Listen to this bet, just real quick. Yeah, we'll do it live. Let's do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
This thing sucks, but not really. Yeah. So just real quick before we get into Houston, Jets minus 2.5, Jets under 16.5 points, under 41.5. Gave it a little cushion there.
Wait. So Jets
under 16.5.
Okay.
Under 41.5 for the game. Patriots minus 2.5. I did 3 legs so I could get the profit boost. Plus 246.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah. So anyway.
That's not bad. Okay.
Houston. This is where the change in betting strategy, this was the first one. Old Mansmann, 100% could not have found a way to bet on the Texans. But you're right. Jacksonville has not been impressive to start the year. The Texans have won outright as dogs against the AFC South. On the road, I think. Road dogs against the AFC South.
Yeah.
Their last 5 games.
Yeah, I mentioned this.
Which you mentioned.
Won and covered.
This is the new money Mansmann. I never would have backed the Texans before. They didn't look great last week, that's for sure. They didn't look great week 1. But I'm not impressed with this Jacksonville team. And for this, 8.5. I think it's still 8.5, right? That is a high number for this Jacksonville team to cover. I've seen some 9s out there. It was 9.5 earlier in the week. Really sort of whatever you could get. If it's over 7 to me, I agree with you. We're in lockstep tonight. Houston Texans are definitely the play against this Jacksonville Jaguars team. And honestly, It would not surprise me if Houston snuck and won this game outright.
They're good for like 2 or 3 wins a year. One of them being against this Jacksonville team in Jacksonville. Yeah. Like it's a system play. I mean, it's not much to really overthink.
I'll save you. I'll do the over under this time. I'm going with the over here because Jacksonville only gave up 17 points against the Chiefs, but they were about to score at the end of the game when they kind of kneeled down. There were a couple turnovers. Like, I could see this being a high-scoring game. The Texans' defense has struggled. I see this being a close game, but, like, higher scoring. And you're not going to need all that much to get to the over here. So I like the over in this one.
Yeah, it is a low number, but my opinion is that the Texans are going to win this. It's going to be because Jacksonville can't score. It's going to be because they shut down Calvin Ridley and Travis Etienne. So I'm going under in Jacksonville, but slightly, not my favorite by any means. It's lower on the spectrum of like pecking order as far as the over-unders go this week. I lean under 43.5. Sorry, it's actually gone up to 44.5. So yeah, no, I definitely like the under 44.5 here.
44 on DK.
All right, there you go. All right, Mansmann, it's your time. Buffalo Bills coming off a win against the Raiders at home. Now coming into D.C., coming home, or our home. -6.5 road favorites, -260 against the NFC Washington Commanders, tied for with the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles for the division at 2-0. Plus 215 on the money line for them. Over-under is at 43.5. What are your Bills going to do when they come to D.C.?
So this is the game I talked about. A lot of this caveat's going to be weather because, you know, the weather could really impact this game. You know, the Bills are a pass-first team, finesse team, although they did run the ball very effectively last week, but considered a finesse team. So take this caveat with the weather. Again, like I said, I always start with the dog first now. That's my way. I could not get here with the commies. Bills, 6 straight covers as road favorites against the NFC. Commies, 5 straight failed covers against the AFC. And if you remember, the Bills actually played a similar commies team a couple years ago when they were struggling, and a lot of people bet the commies. I think it was like 8.5 or 9.5 in that game. The Bills handled them easily. Like, long story short, the Bills beat up on bad teams.
Yeah.
I think Washington's a bad team. I could not back the dog in this spot. Bills under a touchdown. And especially if the weather holds out and Josh Allen could sling the rock around, this could be a 2-touchdown victory for the Bills.
Money Mansmann, I'm going to need you to pour like a tiny bit of blaze into your shot glass for this. I promise you, it's not for what you think. But like the tiny, like a little bit. I just want you to taste it enough where you hate it, but not have too much where like it ruins the later moment. That's perfect. This motherfucker right across from me.
Oh.
Not only last week said if he had the balls to take the Raiders on the road in Buffalo, said verbatim,
yeah.
If anyone bets on the Bills -8.5, they're fucking stupid. Money Mansmann, I need you to take some of that blaze just for that, because I was one of those dumb motherfuckers who bet on the Bills -8.5, and it fucking hit. And you know what? I'm doing it again. Bills -6.5. And I'm aware this goes against the trend of the NFC teams against non-conference road teams, because Washington is at home. And yeah, and this is going to go against that Chargers-Vikings handicap I just did. This is one of the few, but also, like you mentioned, possibly expected exceptions. And yeah, Minnesota Vikings game last season, the Hail Murray, the Bucs game against Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Other than those three, though, Josh Allen, really good against NFC teams. He's 5-2 straight up in ATS and NFC road games. Bills are 6-3 straight up as road favorites since last season. And the Washington Commanders, 2-6-1 ATS against the AFC at home since 2019. 0-3 straight up, 0-2-1 ATS as underdogs in those games. And they've only covered once in their last 4 home games. And the Commies, they're literally coming off the biggest win of their season. Comeback win against Denver in Mile High. You're gonna come in and take 6.5 points. Ain't no fucking way.
That's a good point. Real quick, that's one of my strategies too. You'll see it with a couple other games on this card. I really like to bet against the teams that had very big wins the week before, big comeback wins. That fits in this spot too.
And as far as it's your turn. Over under pick 44.5. I know this is gonna be contingent on weather, and this is
really weather contingent, but I mean, we saw what the Bills did last week. I mean, this Washington defense, no offense to the Broncos, they gave up 33 to the Broncos. Like,
well, Russell Wilson hasn't looked as bad as last.
No,
year.
that's true, but like, I think the Bills,
I mean, 2 long bombs to Marvin Mims too. You have to keep.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Bills' offense is better than like Denver's. I mean,
that's fair.
The Bills could put up 35 again. Like, I could see the Bills practically getting this over on their own. So, again, weather contingent, but over for now.
All right, back to weather contingency picks. Yeah, I'm over if the game is normal or if it's light rain. If it's heavy hurricane type, obviously switch to the under. But even then, I'm on the over as well. All right, Baltimore laying 8.5 at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Minus 430 on the money line, plus 340 for the Colts. Over-under is 44.5 yet again. Indy without AR-15, no Anthony Richardson. He is out due to concussion protocol. Gardner Minshew back at the helm. Monty Mansmann, you're on your second leg. What's your pick?
This was a tough one. I was thinking about a Colts plus here, but the Colts 7 straight road losses against the North. I think Minshew could be serviceable, and the Ravens have 7 guys. Like I said before the show, they got 7 guys out, which is really... This was never one of my high confidence plays. I'm really vacillating on which side I want. The Ravens have covered 4 straight. I doubted them last week. This is a hard... it's really low for me. I would have to lean Baltimore. I just couldn't get there with Indianapolis. Like, they beat Houston. I don't think they're a good team.
Well, they haven't been a good team in a while.
Yeah, I just think Baltimore's bullies, too. Like, they could go...
Jim Harbaugh
put
is...
up 2 scores at the end of the game.
Jim Harbaugh is like one of the biggest bullies.
Yeah.
Bullies of Baltimore.
I'll lean Ravens, but low confidence. But that big... Their losing record against the North was really eye-opening and made me not want to play them.
Well, Lamar's won 5 straight at home. He won his last 2 matchups against the Colts. And Gardner Minshew starting. I mean, he looked all right, and he didn't start, but he came in, relief. He's lost 11 of his last 12 starts. Serviceable should be his middle name. I mean,
are you serviceable if you've lost 11 of your 12?
I mean, he's serviceable like Andy Dalton's serviceable. Like,
oh, we're gonna get to Andy Dalton.
Like he won't make it look the worst embarrassing game of your life, but is he gonna win it? Probably not. Breaking news: the Colts still suck. Jim Irsay's still their owner. He's the new Dan Snyder. I'll fade the shit out of him anytime. Yeah, give me the Ravens here, minus 8.5. Medium confidence. I'm not low I think the Ravens, they beat up on bad teams.
Well, especially if the weather's bad too. Like, they could run the ball. I mean, they'll just win. They'll win like 24-3 in this game.
Oh no, they'll win like 30-3 because it'll be 24-0 in the fourth, and then
Harbaugh kick an onside kick.
Yeah.
Fucking
yeah. Under 44.5 here. Not only because of weather, but I just don't. I know Gardner Minshew did get a lot of points in his last few games, but this Baltimore defense in Baltimore, I don't see it.
Indoors under as well, yeah. I expect, like I said, I expect This could be a close game that then the Ravens just score a couple late touchdowns to put away. This would not be a first half play for me because I could see this being a tight, ugly game and Baltimore pulling away later in the game. So.
There you go. All right, here we go. Detroit coming off the overtime loss, laying 3 points against the Atlanta Falcons, minus 164. Falcons are plus 138 road dogs. Over under is 46.5. Money, Mansmann. I think Atlanta might be winning me back over. Last year, if you remember, dude, they were my ATS team for like 6-7 weeks. I just kept laying it and kept hitting.
I kept betting against them and losing. I remember.
And then there was one week I faded them, and you literally like demanded I throw a trash bag over my head because it was Carolina and they were dog shit. You remember what happened in that game? It was in the Dome.
Oh, God.
PJ Walker literally heaves it to DJ Moore, and they tie it with like a minute something to go.
Did the Falcons still cover?
They won. No, the cover pushed because it was 3.
Oh, see? Yeah, I told you.
Yeah, but I handicapped that correct. Like I faded the Falcons when I should have. This is another 2-0 fraudulent team in my mind. They should have lost last week. And they honestly, I think an argument can be made the Falcons could have lost both games this year. They ended up having second half comebacks. So for those of you who play halves, maybe if you like Atlanta, you play them second half. Desmond Ridder still looks like a bad quarterback last I checked. A lot of his throws could have been interceptions. They looked off target. They looked wobbly. They looked like just not professional standard. The Lions blow it in overtime, but they still look pretty good on offense. And if you look at the Green Bay game, Jordan Love got 3 touchdown passes against this Atlanta Falcons team, albeit the difference was he only got 150 passing yards. They heavily relied on that run game. No Aaron Jones. I think we saw what impact that had on the Green Bay Packers. However, you look at Detroit, I know David Montgomery's hurt, but they got that kid, Jahmyr Gibbs, stepping up to the plate potentially. I think he could have a monster game as well. You got you got Jared Goff, who, let's be honest, I don't think he's no Jordan Love. I think he's going to get more than 150 passing yards against this Falcons defense. This Falcons team, I swear to God, like, they're 2-0, but they look like frauds. I do not think this team is any good. I think coaching is the only reason they had that comeback, but I don't think that's going to be good enough for them for the rest of the season. Like I kind of said in the in our recap episode, Jared Goff is still a far superior quarterback at home, and Jared Goff has only lost to Seattle as a home favorite in his time in the Lions.
Twice.
It's happened twice, but we called it. I mean, we handicapped that. We called it. This could be like a bully ball Lions, like after a loss at home. Dan Campbell's pissed with his 3 Trenta iced coffees. Like, I don't know. I don't see the angle with Atlanta, even though, like, this is the 3rd week in a row I faded them. Are they going to prove? Is this going to be just like another 6 weeks of like Atlanta covering the spread every time? I don't know, but I know they didn't cover last week, but I mean that game was like very.
Well, it depends on when you got.
Yeah, that was depending on when you get it, but they've won 2 in a row. I mean, it's now they're a road dog again. I don't know.
I was gonna say, where'd they win the game?
That last point I'll make: Desmond Ridder. All he's had are home games with the Falcons. This is his first road game.
Yeah. Let me ask, where did Atlanta cover those games?
At home.
So, I'm liking this play more because I looked at it originally. It was Lions 3.5. I know on DK it's down to 3.
It's also down to 3 on FanDuel.
Down to 3 on FanDuel as well, yeah. Really starting to like the Lions a little bit more. Key stat. 6 straight losses as underdogs for the Falcons. 6 straight losses on the road for the Falcons. Much better home team, and you know me. If at first you don't succeed, try again. I do not like this the Falcons team at all. I think they should have lost last week. I thought they should have not covered the week before. Very big on the Lions here. I know there's some concerns about injuries, but I think the Lions are going to put up some points. And honestly, this is
I think it's Josh Reynolds who's hurt. Or Amon-Ra St. Brown. I forget. It's some big receiver.
Amon-Ra had cramps. I don't know if he's going to play or not. He had cramps the last game.
He better fucking play if it's
I hope
cramps.
he plays. I hope he plays.
I'll
But,
check real quick, but continue.
But yeah, this is actually one of the first games where I'm seriously like a first half play. Because if the line's 3, you're getting a first half that's going to be under 3. And boy, I could see the Lions at home after a tough loss really taking it to this.
All right, so breaking news. David Montgomery, running back, doubtful for Sunday. Did not practice. Josh Reynolds, full practice. Looks like he's going to play questionable. Amon-Ra St. Brown, full practice today. He's starting, So looks like Jahmyr Gibbs will be getting the nod.
Honestly, that's probably better for the Lions. Like, that guy's explosive.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And for the Falcons, too, it looks like Calais Campbell didn't practice, resting, I guess. Cordero Patterson, limited practice, questionable. Bud Dupree, he's out. Falcons defense, I'm still not sold. They haven't really played a real offense. This Detroit team has an offense.
This could be a Detroit first half, too. I would look Detroit first half. I think they're going to get out to a strong start. Atlanta got down against the Packers last week.
Yeah.
They did not play a great first half against the Panthers. And in a game where Detroit's going to come out, I think they're going to come out firing. Detroit first half, I'd look towards that.
I'm with you there. I'm also on the over for this game. This is going to be a dome game, so no weather bullshit. Detroit home, it's a system play. Hit the over. This is actually my over of the week because let's be honest. I mean, Atlanta's run game has been pretty stellar, and Detroit's defense, I think, what did they give up? How many? They gave up 20 to the Chiefs. They gave up 37 to Seattle. I mean, I could see Desmond Ridder looking a lot better than he should, but that doesn't mean he's good. I could see the Falcons maybe getting like 14-17 through garbage time, fourth quarter, and then Detroit just running up the score. Like it could be 40 to like 14.
This is unbelievable. I think we're finding a corporation play is developing. My over under of the week. To me, it's like the Lions always score like 70 points in the dome.
Yeah.
And this is gonna. I know you think Falcons running low scoring, but I see this as a game where Detroit gets up maybe 14-0 early. They give up a touchdown. Like I see this being like a track meet type game, and the over under isn't like at 57. I mean, this is a low over.
It's 40. 46 and a half? I mean,
yeah,
46 and a half. That's a 27-20 game. Like, even if you don't think it's going to be, like, high scoring, 27-20 covers that, folks. Like.
And I think, I mean.
No, over of the week.
I am not sold on Atlanta's defense even a little. I think Detroit's scoring 30 here.
All right, here. Gotcha. All right, moving on through the NFC. 1 o'clock still. Green Bay Packers coming off that close loss. Laying 1.5 at home against the New Orleans Saints and Derek Carr. Saints plus 104 road dog, minus 122 for the Pack. Over-under's 42.5. And look, this is going to be simple. You're going to hear this handicap again and again and again. This is a lot like the Commies, the Falcons, the Giants. I think I mentioned, we mentioned them in our recap episode. This New Orleans 2-0 team, also fraudulent. I think there's a reason they were 2-point dogs. Now I'm getting minus 1.5. The Packers' run defense last week couldn't stop a nosebleed. This is going to be a step down because New Orleans offense, they cannot get the run game going to save their life. And Derek Carr is still not used to this system for whatever reason. He's still looking like pathetic dog shit like I kind of knew he was. Not going to say I was right, Mansmann, but through 2 weeks, the Saints have scored less points than the Chiefs and the Chicago Bears. Not impressive. They've scored a total of 35 points this season. Green Bay is also going to be getting Aaron Jones back. That's going to be a big improvement on their offense. Derek Carr, 2-7 against the NFC North in his career. He has never won in Green Bay. He has never beaten the NFC North on the road. I'm getting a 1.5. I'll take Jordan Love and Green Bay on the bounce back.
Yeah, this is our first contention, but I'm not. This would be more of a teaser play for me.
At 1.5. Why not?
Packers have been very good in home openers. I think it's, let me just confirm here, 10 straight home openers they've won. So the numbers are on your side there. Although the Saints as a team, at least, now again, your car stat contradicts that, 4 straight against the NFC North. And strangely enough, the Packers have actually failed to cover their last 4 against the NFC South, which I didn't know last week when I.
Yeah, it would have been nice to know last week, but
Yeah,
that's okay.
Would have been nice, but
And also too, the Packers stats, that was with Aaron Rodgers. This is with
yeah, you're true. That is true. I don't know. I think the Saints defense is good,
Okay, let's.
and I'm just.
Did you see them in the 2-minute drill on Monday night?
Yeah, but that game was over.
But okay, no. There was a whole two. If it was 20 seconds, it was over.
I mean,
You had a
Did
whole
you see what they did before
2
that? though?
minutes.
Did you see what they did before that? There wasn't that much.
But
they
it was
could've-
Bryce. It was a rookie quarterback and Bryce Young. Like, even I said the Saints were going to win and cover.
Who they
Like,
play the week before? Nobody good.
Titans
Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah.
at home, nonetheless. Like,
Yeah, but the Packers beat the worst team in football and lost.
let me remind you, Derek Carr has never beaten Green Bay.
Yeah,
He has never beaten the NFC North on the road.
You're probably talking me out of playing this game. I'd still have to lean Saints, just because that was my original pick. And
Jordan Love threw 150 passing yards last week. He still got 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones is coming back.
yeah, I like the Saints defense in this game. Like my handicap's the Saints defense.
Well, that's an under.
Keep it close.
To me, that's a smart
Well,
under
like,
handicap.
To be fair, I do like the under in this game.
As do I, but I'll let you.
Well, Saints defense, I expect it to be close regardless. I don't think the Packers are going to run up and down the field, and especially if Aaron Jones, if their game plan is run. Yeah, I could see this being a low score.
I don't know if this is going to be like low scoring, but I mean, could Jordan Love have the performance of his life? Sure, but I also think that a lot of this is going to be done on the ground with the run, and that's just going to kill too much clock. And even if this is close, I don't know if I see Jordan Love throwing another 3 touchdowns with 150 yards. I could see him maybe getting like 200, 220 yards and like two touchdowns max.
Maybe a couple interceptions.
Maybe an interception for once, and, Aaron Jones runs 1 or 2 in. Like, I could see this being, 42.5? I could see this being 2017.
Yeah.
Maybe with a mixed extra point. Maybe like 24-10. I just don't.
24-21.
I just see New Orleans offense, and I watched him Monday night. I watched him against the Titans. Derek Carr sucks.
Yeah, not what you want.
Derek Carr is not good. Like, and he's
No.
not looking good either with this new Dennis Allen fraud. Like, the New Orleans Saints.
You better
2-0.
hope so, buddy. You're 8 wins away from Kaser. If the Saints if the Saints win this game, do you do like me and just admit defeat? 3-0 to start the year. Do you just?
Let me look at the rest of the schedule.
What's their over under wins now is the real question.
Why don't you look that up, and I'll look at the rest of the Saints schedule, and I'll let you know when.
Yeah, who do they play next week? Who do the Saints play next week? Maybe you could get lucky. It'll be a look ahead spot.
They host the Bucks, who they notoriously beat. They go to New England. They have the Texans. Oh, the Jags, Colts.
God,
Three
what a great bet. The Saints schedule is fucking.
God
dope as
dang.
shit.
Chicago
Holy shit. Do they play like one fucking team?
at Minnesota,
Oh, there you go. Okay.
at Atlanta. They host Detroit, at Carolina, the Giant. God, they really don't play anybody. Oh my God.
Bro, I got a 9 too. Bro,
Oh, this is not good.
bro, I just like.
God, I need them to lose. Like,
Bro, I literally.
I really need them to go on a losing streak, folks.
Bro,
This
I
is
just literally like fucking. Honestly, right
I
now,
totally forgot how easy this.
honestly, your bet at 9 flat looks like so stupid right now.
What is the over under now?
Yeah, it's coming.
Oh, jeez.
Folks, this is the money right here.
Is there a cash out? Is there a cash out option by
Over under 10.5.
Damn.
So basically, what they're telling you right now is you're only going to lose this bet. Like, you will not win it. You might get a push, but the odds are not in your favor. Like, the odds are you will lose this bet. And it will be another case of beer for money.
It's too early, but maybe come October we'll relook at this. All right, finally, let's go.
Oh, list 1 o'clock?
Last 1 o'clock. My Denver Bumpos. Taking 6.5 on
the pooper.
Fuck you, dude.
Taking 6.5 inches right up the
6.5 points on the road, plus 225 against Miami in Miami, minus 275 for the Dolphins. Over under is 47.5, and yeah, let's just knock this out real quick.
oh, Jesus, okay.
We're just gonna pour some of the blaze here because this is what it's like being a Broncos fan. You just constant disappointment. Coaching changes left and right like a carousel. Just all right. Fade of the week. I am fading this Miami team.
Oh, look at you. There's a homer.
Actually, I don't think it's a homer play. I don't think it's a homer play. The public seems to be on the Dolphin side here. Let me clarify though. The Dolphins will win because either they're gonna take this handicap, shove it out their blowhole, and then shove it straight up my ass, like you just said, or the Broncos will keep this close and find a way to lose this. And either way, it's Miami money line would probably be the play. This is another game this week, folks, where the line is just, it's either too close for comfort or the line is too high and you're going to want to tease it anyways just to not take the risk. Miami at 6.5 is like ultimate teaser material here. This is very situational. Here's what's going against me. Dolphins 11-2 straight up, 9-4 ATS since 2020 as home favorites. 7-3 ATS after a home win since last season. Sorry, not a home win. After a win since last season. Vic Fangio's their defensive coordinator. This could be a revenge spot. And yeah, here's what's going in my favor. The Broncos, they're coming from a 2-game home stretch in elevation. Now they're coming down to sea level. Maybe that will improve their player performance. I fucking hope it helps Kareem Jackson not get another fucking headhunting penalty. Neither here nor there. Mansmann, bottom line, Broncos have covered 4 of their last 5 as road dogs. They've covered 4 of their last 5 road games against the AFC. This is your favorite stat. The Broncos love losing 1-possession games. This is like a straight-up numbers play for me. 13 games against the AFC Russell Wilson has played in for the Broncos. They've only lost by this number, 6.5, 3 times. 7 against the Jets, 7 against the Titans, 9 against the fucking Raiders. Every other game they've lost, it's been 6 or less. And at 6.5, I just think, like, even if you do believe in the Dolphins and you want the Dolphins to have a blowout type game, precedence in history kind of states this is just going to be a back and forth close type game. And this is going to be 1 possession down to the wire, or it's going to be some sort of weird backdoor cover situation. And that's why I say this is like an ultimate teaser game. I wouldn't really advise taking the Broncos money line. I mean, maybe if you want to round robin it and get cute, sure. I won't be playing this game just because they are my team. Yeah, 6.5. I just think that number is very high for a team who had to come back against the Chargers. And I know they basically beat the Patriots the whole game Sunday night, But that was a 7-point loss. They let the Patriots come back and make it a 1-possession game. I could see a similar type situation happening one way or the other, where it's either going to be back and forth or there's going to be some sort of backdoor potential there. And 6.5 is too high. So fade of the week, I'm fading Miami. I think they're getting a lot of public action for a team who really shouldn't get as much as you would think. I think they're just heavily down on the Broncos here. Russell Wilson has been playing a lot better. First half, Denver Broncos. I mean, Marvin Mims had 160 receiving yards on 2 catches.
Crazy, yeah.
It was absurd. Like, Russell Wilson.
He only got 2 targets or only 2 catches.
It's insane, but, you know, could I see Russell Wilson and the Broncos coming to Miami, not only covering the spread, but getting an upset? I actually could. Like, I'll be praying for it. I'll be cheering for it, but will it happen? No. They'll probably find another way to lose this in, like, a crazy fashion. Like, I will say last week was a new one for me, folks. I can only tell you how many holes I tried to punch in Jason's couch, but
Yeah, I had to stop him.
it was rough. It's rough being a Broncos fan out there, but yeah. I'm not sold on the Dolphins. That's why this is my fade of the week. This number is too high.
Okay. Yeah.
Just go ahead. Come
Let's see. Miami, 10 straight wins
Yup.
against the AFC at home.
Yup. That's true.
I believe it's, 6 straight covers against the AFC at home as favorites.
Yup.
This Miami team is great at home. Tua is a good quarterback at home.
Yes, he is.
And I'm with you with the Broncos.
What?
I agree. You're giving me a bit more confidence because I don't know if I could do it.
By the way,
Broncos here.
Broncos have won 3 of the last 4 against Miami.
I remember that game. Remember that guy?
Yes, there was a guy out there.
Story.
So here's the story. So this is my first year of betting ever, and I'm still learning the ropes. I'm still like making bad bets, but I literally see Tua Tagovailoa's. It was like his home debut against the Denver Broncos, 2020 COVID season, and I'm just sitting there like the Dolphins are laying 3.5, and this is when the Dolphins weren't good.
Yeah,
they didn't
when
have
they sucked,
Tyreek.
yeah.
And I was like, they're laying 3.5. I was like, that's a bad bet. Like, I wouldn't make that. Like, and I don't even know what I'm doing. And I just see FanDuel pop up on Twitter. Random bettor places $75,000 on Tua and the Dolphins to cover 3.5. The Dolphins ended up losing 20-13. And the first words out of my mouth, it's horrible to say, I hope this motherfucker loses money. Like, I literally hope he loses. Like,
No, it was worse than that. You were literally like, it was worse.
was it 75,000 or 750,000?
No, it was a lot though. It was like,
I'll pull the. I can pull.
High five
Hang
figure.
on, I can find it.
but yeah, I'll go on while you're looking for that. Yeah, I agree with you. The Broncos lost a tough game last week. The public bet, 90% of the bets according to Drake.
It was 75K, but go on.
Yeah, 75K? Okay. 90% of the bets on the Dolphins this week. I think the number's high, and you know what I love? DK, just looked. Denver, -6.5, -104. We could get a 7. I would love this game at 7. 7 -110 would be beautiful.
I normally don't ever bet on the Broncos, but Broncos +7 would.
Especially, too, the way the Dolphins have played. Like, I could see this being like a sneaky 4-point game, 3-point game. Denver keeping it close. Their defense.
Well, how many times have they done that? I mean,
especially, too, what if Denver knocks Tua out of the game? Like, they could do it. I'm not rooting for it.
no, but I mean, it could happen.
I mean, unfortunately, with the Dolphins, you always have to be afraid injury could occur.
Jesus Christ, I don't know. This is also a dead under game for me.
Denver, dead under.
Miami at home, dead under 1-7 in their last 8. Broncos on the road. This is going to be. I think this is going to be close. This is going to be low scoring. Russ is not going to look as good as he has in the last 2 weeks, but I think he'll still be productive. I mean, he might be good for a turnover here and there, but I mean, could I see Tua? Like, I mean, the Broncos defense has been getting a lot a lot of criticism over the media over the last 2 weeks, and they're saying, is Vance Joseph a bad hire? I could see Vance Joseph coming out and making a statement against Vic Fangio. You forget that this Broncos team was under Vic Fangio. They know what he's doing.
Also, I believe there's a stat. I don't know exactly what the number is. I think it's over 60%, though. Teams failing to cover a week after playing Bill Belichick. Like, there's tape now. Belichick, sometimes he'll scheme certain things to stop players.
That was I heard this in another podcast. His scheme was to stop Tyreek and Jalen Waddle on the deep threat. And they basically told them, you're going to beat us on the run, and you're going to beat us on the short pass. Did Raheem Mostert get almost 200 rushing yards? He sure did. But you know what? That was the scheme. And I think the Broncos are going to take note of that.
And the Broncos have a better defense than the Patriots. They have the horses.
Yeah.
See? Horses. Broncos, horses. They have the... Wow.
Holy shit.
They have the horses.
So, literally through... God, I'm going to count this out now. 10 games... Yeah, through 10 games, we only fought about one, and we didn't even really fight. Neither of us were confident.
Yeah, the Packers. Wow. So, we're
still in 3 weeks. We're still in lockstep.
I think we're going to make some more fucking money. But, yeah, so that's it for 1 o'clock.
That's it for the 1 o'clock games. Producer John.
Quick break time.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, folks. We'll be back here shortly. It won't take you too long. All right, D-Gents, we're back. Monty Mansmann.
Yo, I mean, it's like we never left.
Yeah, literally, it is like we never left. All right, real quick, just going over my best bets. I gave out my over of the week, which was the Atlanta-Detroit game. Fade of the week, I'm fading the Miami Dolphins, taking the Broncos, plus 6.5. Favorite of the week, best bet, New England Patriots.
Right, so let me give my best bets. Oh, wait a minute, they're the same as Big Box.
Yeah, so apparently for a game we were going to fight about, a card we were going to fight about, we've been pretty lockstep.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, we are jumping into the 4 o'clock slate, though. Yeah, I got a lot of my crazy picks are here.
Time to fight.
Might be time to fight. Are you ready to jump into this?
Let's go to war.
Let's go to war. Sir, are you ready? Sir, are you ready?
Let's fight. Or if you're Chris Tognoni, you could stop the fight prematurely.
Or bet or judge at 10-8, however you want.
Or judge at 10-8.
All right, here we go. Carolina Panthers traveling to Seattle as 5.5-point road dogs, plus 190 on the money line. Seattle Seahawks minus 230. Over under is currently at 42 even. Is it? Oh, it's your turn to go.
Right. So yeah, I told you that I had a different strategy this week. I was looking at the dogs and like Carolina plus 5.5 in this spot here. First off, love the fact that the Red Rockets playing quarterback. Bryce Young is out. So I feel like I'm getting much more competent play at quarterback. And look,
not that hard to do. I mean,
well, that is true. 5 straight losses against the NFC South for the Hawks, and they have failed to cover their last 5 games as favorites. And I could see this being, don't get me wrong, I think the Seahawks win this game. This game looks to me like an ugly sort of backdoor cover team coming off like a big overtime win last week. I think the number is a bit low here. Now, again, would I like it higher? Could this be a teaser play? Of course, that's always in the cards. But I'd give a serious look to this Panthers team, plus 5.5 right now, because I could see this being one of those surprising games that sort of comes out of nowhere. I actually have a few games on the 4 o'clock slate where I think they're surprising games that come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This Panthers team, again, they put up a bit of a fight against the Saints. I think they put up a decent fight against the Falcons before those late turnovers. Against in a flowchart game where the Seahawks have struggled against the South, I could definitely see this being a surprising like backdoor type cover.
Yeah, Andy Dalton coming in, especially in a Frank Reich system, you would just think, without seeing Andy Dalton and seeing what Bryce Young has done, Andy Dalton might fit into that scheme a little better. Yeah, like I said in the Giants game, like I said with Atlanta, Washington, New Orleans, I think you can see where I'm going with this. Fade the teams with the comeback wins. I should do it here. I should. I'm not gonna.
Oh.
I'm not doing. No. I will be fair. I'm not gonna fight you on this one. I actually think you are on the sharper side here. Because everything you said, 100% true. But for me, like, I don't think it matters whether it's Andy Dalton, Bryce Young, Brooks and Dunn. You know, Vince Young. I don't care. Seahawks -5.5. And again, kind of like what you said, going against the trend. They lost to the Panthers last year by 6 at home as 3.5-point favorites. They're 2-4 straight up, 1-5 ATS on the year as home favorites.
Last 3 we've been within 6 too.
1-6 ATS as home as favorites since 2022. Excuse me. 3-6 ATS after a win for Seattle too. So this is not a team who tends to cover multiple games in a row. So there's a lot pointing against me. I can't play the Panthers, though. They just looked so bad on offense. I don't see how Andy Dalton comes in to this new team. This isn't like New Orleans where he had essentially half a season to get adjusted. And if you remember when he stepped in for New Orleans, he didn't look that good either at first. Wasn't towards the tail end of that where he actually got it together and ended up winning his last 3 straight starts. I don't know, man. Like,
Do we have any faith in this Seahawks defense? Though
I have more faith in the Seahawks offense to outscore the Panthers. And it's outscore Andy Dalton. And do it by a touchdown,
I
too.
will say over 6 would be better. Over 6 would be better.
Maybe. Even then, I think I needed a 7.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to make you throw up. According to DraftKings percentage bets, 93% on the Seahawks.
Oh.
Okay, Barney.
Oh, no.
There he is. Barney Beyta.
Oh, no.
Barney Beyta scooping up that chalk.
I'm not betting. I'm not going to be betting this game. I can't.
No, I think this is probably teaser or nothing for me because I'd really like it above 6.
Yeah, Panthers really bad on the road. 2-7 straight up since last season.
That is true. That's fair.
This is an over game though. The under has hit in Seattle's last 4 at home. The last time the over hit, ironically, it wasn't enough against Carolina. Seattle, weak defense, like you mentioned. I think Geno's heating back up. I think we're gonna get old Geno here, even though. If you remember, there's games where he heats up, then there's games in the next week he has Doodlebot. But against Carolina, I think he gets enough done to hit this over. And I think with Andy Dalton, even if he does look better, Carolina's, 10, 17, like they're going to get something on the board. I think it'll push the over here.
I actually agree with you. I lean to the I don't lean to the over. This is a high confidence for me. I like the over. Same reason. I'm not sold on Seattle's defense, and I think this is going to be a higher scoring game. And you know me, like my thing is always close game, like the overs, because it tends to be
Right.
you just have both teams scoring. So yeah, I like the over here too.
All right. So we're not too far off. All right, here we. Oh God, this is the NFC. Sorry, the NFL shit game of the week, in my opinion. The Chicago Bears and Justin Fields. 12.5 points on the road, plus 570 underdog against the Kansas City Chiefs. Laying 12.5, over-unders 48.5. And, yeah, look, NFC teams, non-conference road spot. So far this year, NFC non-conference road teams, 4-0 straight up in ATS. Look, even I can't take the Bears outright. Like, I can't. That's ridiculous. I wish I could just say taking the Chiefs on the spread was going to be easy. I can't. I'm not doing it. I'm actually leaning closer to the Bears covering 12.5. It sounds ass. It's total asinine. This is probably the donkey play of the week for me. I'm not even thinking of teasing this one. This is another straight up. I'm not playing this game. The reason being, this Chiefs offense, since Eric Bieniemy left, has been nothing but lackluster and bland and really, really, really unimpressive. They are actually tied with the Bears in points scored this season at 37 in 2 games. They haven't covered at home in the year 2023. 1-3 ATS in their last 4. They only covered 1.5. Sorry, I lied. They've only covered 1 game in 2023. That was against the Bengals in the playoffs. They were a minus 1.5 point favorite. And they're notorious for just not getting big covers or barely getting big covers. Not by a lot either. I mean, looking at last year alone, twice they were a 9.5 point favorite against Jacksonville. One they won by 7. The other one they won by 10. 12.5 points favored against Denver. They barely squeaked by 27-24 against Russell Wilson. 15.5 point favorites against the Rams. They barely got that cover 26-10. 14 spread against Denver, not against Denver, against the Tennessee Titans with Malik Willis. And that game went to overtime, and they had to kick a field goal. Like, I don't know, like, they lost a really weird Week 3 matchup last year to Indy. They were 4.5 point favorites, and me and you sat here were like, this is asinine. Like, what the hell are we missing? This is that same kind of idea with me where I'm just like, it's only 12.5. Like, what am I missing? Because the Bears are fucking awful. Justin Fields can't read. If, like, put Justin Fields and a 3rd grader with read plays in Madden, and I guarantee you that 3rd grader might get a higher score. Like, he cannot make a read on a play to save his life.
And yeah.
The Chiefs minus 12.5, it, like, literally looks like a public spot, and it just seems like a trap. And if it smells like a trap, it looks like a trap, it's probably a trap. So, like, if I had to play this game, I actually would lean Chicago plus 12.5, but low confidence in this one. The last game that the Bears did win on the road was against the Patriots on Monday night. The year prior to that, they beat the Raiders, so they're like good for 1 road win against the AFC a year. Yeah. Like, and I mentioned this last week with the Bears. I think when they played the Tampa Bay, they're good for like 1 win against the NFC a year. Like, is this the 1 win? It's the same thing, like,
and it wasn't. It wasn't.
But I didn't think it. But I handicapped that it wasn't. Like, this one, I'm like, I don't think they'll win. But like, is this a cover? You know, it's this one was hard for me. I just don't. And Justin Fields, say what you will, this Bears defense has, like, they've gotten points on the board. They've been like, I think they've looked better on offense than the Jets. And the way the Kansas City Chiefs have been playing these, like, really tight, nail-biter type games up until the 4th quarter, like, I could see the Chiefs doing this same thing again, like, especially with Chris Jones on defense. I could see Justin Fields not really being able to do anything, but I could also see the Bears defense stepping up and Patrick Mahomes throwing shit in the dirt because he gets rushed for, like, 2 seconds. I don't know.
I'll tell you, this 4 o'clock schedule is fucking trash this week.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is the risk of being a donkey. Sometimes you got to make, like, bold plays. My bold play, Bears plus 12.5.
No, I appreciate that. No, not for me.
Not for you? Okay.
No. Mind you, I'm not rushing to, bet my Kansas City minus 12.5 for all the reasons you said. How many times has Kansas City been a big favorite and, not covered and fallen flat? But, I mean, the Bears defensive coordinator, there was stories about, like, the FBI raiding his house. Justin Fields is...
Okay, that story was not real.
I mean...
It was a fake news story.
I mean, honestly, why weren't there stories about Leslie Frazier, his house getting raided by the FBI? Maybe they should have. 13 seconds convinced me that he wasn't throwing the game. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, I can't. I mean, the Bears are falling apart. Now, that still also scares me because sometimes when a team's falling apart, playing a football game gets them to, like, not fall apart, and they come back with, like, a good performance. But there's absolutely nothing about this.
Is this as low as the Bears get? is the question.
No, I mean, honestly, this line should probably be 16.5. Like, I mean, they're terrible, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, we watched the video. You sent me the video of Justin Fields.
Yeah, so for those of you out there, the quarterback school out on YouTube, I'm a very big fan of his. He literally goes game by game with certain quarterbacks and does just like quarterback footage and dumbs it down for like casual viewers to observe and like appreciate. And let me tell you, even when Justin Fields succeeded, there was just so much wrong with it. Like,
yeah, the guy can't make NFL reads. Their coaching, their scheming is terrible. Like, I mean, the Bears are just a fucking dumpster fire.
yeah, I'm just concerned. Like this Chiefs offense without the enemy, like they have
Doesn't this look like the get fat game though?
no,
Can the
it
Bears
doesn't.
stop anybody. The Bears defense sucks.
But I don't know. I said the same thing about Detroit. I kind of said the same thing about Jacksonville in a sense. I mean, Houston threw up 20 on Jacksonville.
Bears defense against the pass, 27th in the league. They play Green Bay and Tampa. They haven't even played good passing. 31st in scoring.
Tied with Kansas City, though.
No, Kansas City's defense, 4th in scoring. Against the 22nd ranked offense.
Well, okay, but that's a... Think of it this way, though. This is a prime
Early
example.
sample size.
Small sample size. One of the numbers was 9. Of course they're going to be 4th in scoring for defense. I mean, come on, like...
I mean, that's fair. I'm not saying my handicap's more Bears. I think the Bears defense is dreadful. They cannot stop them. Like, they're a dead over team. Here we go. My over. Why? Bears defense. They're fucking garbage. Kansas City might score. What's
See,
the number?
that's
48?
weird. All right, so now we're really going to fight. This is my under of the week.
What the fuck?
Under 49.5.
Oh, it is your number 49.5?
That's what it was, yeah. I'm checking.
48.
48.5.
48.
48.5.
You got 48.5.
Yeah, no, but still under 48.5. This is a game I need Mahomes to prove me wrong. I've had 2 games. I've seen what he's done. It hasn't been a
You
lot.
like the Bears 12.5, but
And under.
What? That makes no
I don't
sense.
think
I
the
wanna
Chiefs.
hear this.
I don't think the Chiefs are going to score enough, but I think the Chiefs' defense with Chris Jones was a massive improvement.
How are the Chiefs not? Is Mahomes going to go below? I mean,
Could this be a game management type situation? Chiefs go up 28-0. They game manage through the third and through half the fourth quarter, and it ends like 30-3. That's one way of
but
looking.
you liked Bears 12.5. That's
But so the other aspect is like if Justin Fields keeps this close, is this going to be a ugly? Like what was it? The Titans and Chiefs. Like I forget what the score was, but like literally tied, and it comes down to a field goal. I mean, again, we've seen these weird witchy type games with the Chiefs. There's like one a year. They play a really bad team and they just like don't show up.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong.
Could this be 2017? Could this be like a 20-14 Chiefs win?
I'm not going to fight you that much just because the Chiefs may win 38-3 and the under will hit. Like, that could happen. I mean, the Chiefs over is really...
I mean,
although it's going to be very...
Well, let's think of it this way. The Bears scored what against Green Bay? 10? And then they scored 17. So, like, meet in the middle. Say 14. So, if you account for 14, could the Chiefs win 28-14? Could they... Like, it could be 28-0, but could they win 28-14? 30-14? Just game manage it, drain clock.
Chiefs totals at 30.5 on DK, so...
See, I would lean under, oddly enough.
I get what... Like, normally, 99 out of 100, I'd agree with you. I think this Bears defense is like historically bad. They are.
See, that was my preseason handicap with the Bears, but they've actually like now again, mind you, they haven't really played. They haven't played a real offense.
They gave up 38 points to Green Bay week 1.
Jordan Love though is a quarterback who like gets touchdowns but not yards.
And Matt Mahomes isn't like
not this year.
against two better teams. I don't know.
I get where you're going. I get where you're going with this.
I don't know.
I
can't endorse this.
I'm afraid.
I mean, far be it from me.
I want to be on the side of the Chiefs. Believe me, I really do. But this one is
no. I could even understand your spread play, your over under. But again, it'll hit. It'll go 47 because you're on a.
We'll see. Maybe it'll be 50-0, and I'll just
fucking drown
just
yourself.
shake my head. Yeah. All right. So speaking of drowning your sorrow, shaking your heads. Remember what it's like to be a Cowboys fan? I don't, because I'm not that pathetic. Sorry, Cowboys fans.
Looking good this year.
Yeah, looking fucking phenomenal though. Laying 12.5 on the road against Arizona. Arizona plus 500 on the money line. Minus 700. Mansmann produced the Blaze. Just yeah. Let's just knock this out.
Oh, you're gonna enjoy.
We'll see. I'm gonna pour it, but I don't know if I'm gonna drink it. We're gonna save that for the handicap.
I'm gonna be responsible and do like a little bit.
Oh, look at you.
Well,
Yeah, and I believe it's my turn to start, so
yeah, I'll pull you like a halfer.
appreciate that. Okay, so did we see what the Dallas Cowboys did to the New York Giants? Did you see what they did to the New York Jets defense? And now they get the mighty step up in class with the Arizona Cardinals.
You know,
minus Buda Baker.
Honestly, you can make the case that the Cardinals are a step up. That's how bad the fucking New York teams are.
Yeah, the Cardinals, who haven't won as a home dog in now 9 straight. Dallas is clearly going to, in my opinion, Dallas will win this. The question is this a Dallas trap game? How many times, again, like my handicap the last time, how many times have we seen the Dallas Cowboys get hot? They looked really good. They get a real step down in class, and they just and Dak Prescott throws 3 picks and lays a goose egg.
God, they play the fucking Patriots at home.
Coming off 2 huge wins.
Oh, my God.
And a superior, terrible opponent. I mean, would it surprise me if the Cardinals managed to cover twice in both their losses and now covering 3 of 4 of their last as home dogs? I mean, no, not here. I can't. Which is ironic because I literally just did this the last game. But no, Cowboys minus 12.5. And again, light lean, not confident by any means, but Cowboys have been really good on the road. And that's the the thing is with Mahomes on the road, Mahomes in these weird type situations, the Cowboys have actually shown through the numbers and through their wins. They are just as good on the road as they can be at home. Sometimes better on the road than at home. They covered 3 of their last 4 as road favorites. They're 9-3 straight up in ATS since 2021 as road favorites. Every time they win on the road, they cover. I think this is a game they're going to win. I think if they're going to win this type of game, they're going to cover. This is an already weak defense as it is. They let Daniel Jones come back for 31. They lost to Commander Howell and the Commies.
Yep.
They gave up 20. And Joshua Dobbs, don't get me wrong, that guy's a dog. He fucking plays to win.
Yeah.
I'm loving him.
He's the type of guy you want as a big underdog.
I'm loving him. I'm loving me some Joshua Dobbs, but I mean, hard to see the side here with Arizona. And I know we mentioned the stat last week, Money Mansmann. I'll save it for you. There's reasons to take Arizona here, and if you think that Dallas is here to lay a goose egg, now might be the time to play the opponent on the spread, but do we really want to bet a third time Joshua Dobbs loses but gets a cover? This guy's luck has to run out at some point, and this is going to be his hardest opponent since.
Yeah. Although, I mean, honestly, you could have made the case last week that they should have won. Trust me, I know.
Well, I think that's more of Giants being that bad, not Cardinals being that good.
Well, that is true. The Giants are not good.
Yeah, Dallas in road games since 2022, Dallas has won and covered 5 of their last 6. I think I mentioned that already, but that's okay. Yeah, just this year, 0 points against the G-Men. Wait, what the fuck was I going to say? Oh, that was my over-under play. So, ignore that. No, I'm going with Dallas here. Dallas minus 12.5. But I know some of the trends are against me. And this could be a trap as well.
So, first off, Joshua Dobbs, thank you for this. Thank you for making me suffer. Thank you for the Giants. You win and don't cover. But it's okay. You made it up to me.
I am going to take this because the Giants did come back.
You know what? They made it up to me last night when they sucked. Like I thought they would.
Okay. Oh.
God, that is terrible.
How is it we like Goldschlager, but not this shit?
Super bad.
Actually, could be worse.
We've had
No,
worse.
I mean like the movie Super Bad with the gold.
Oh, yeah. I love gold!
As we always say, why get drunk when you could get blazed? So, I've said this stat before. 9 straight covers for the Cardinals against the NFC East.
It's one of those weird things. It just happens.
One of those weird things. Make it 10.
Really?
Yup. Arizona Cardinals 12.5. So, couple things. And don't get me wrong, like you said, could look like a complete donko come Monday.
You have to take the risk. I get it.
Doesn't this look like a Dallas Coast spot? They're up 13. They're up 17.
Oh, like
Late cover. Like, God, this looks like a Dallas Coast spot.
Okay, I can't fault you there because we saw it on Thanksgiving with the Giants. We've seen this before.
100. It looks like a game where Dallas go almost like last week, except the Cardinals have like spirit, where instead of Zach Wilson throwing 3 interceptions and the Cowboys just sort of sitting on the lead, the Cowboys sit on the lead and Arizona just like makes it look better than it is at home. Like I'll tell you what. Like at the very least, we made fun of their coach.
Oh yeah,
Playing hard, like
Producer John, put this in your notes. We need to get something from that clip as a soundbite.
any of you guys?
Did you take the bus?
Do you take the bus?
The bus. Okay.
Anybody driving a car?
I want killers.
Like, anybody take a scooter? I want killers. Honestly, I would have been in that room. He literally would have given me like a heart attack. Anyone take the bus? I'm like. I'm a killer. What? Yeah, I'm a killer. But
Yes,
no, you
Coach.
got to give them credit. Like, they're playing hard. And number one, this looks like a prime. We've seen it before. No Trayvon Diggs, too. Trayvon
Diggs out for the year.
Dallas Coast spot. But number two, numbers play for me. Think of it this way. Who has been worse this year? The Chicago Bears, Arizona Cardinals.
Okay, I'd say Chicago. Even I would say that.
Kansas City is a 12.5 point favorite at home against Chicago.
That's fair.
Dallas is a 12.5 point favorite on the road against a team that's covered 9 straight against the NFC East. That is a bad number.
But I will say that normally I would agree with you, but Dallas tends to prove that being on the road isn't an issue.
Like I said, I mean, look, at the end of the day, Dallas could win by 30. I could see this as a Dallas Coast spot, and I'm giving a serious look to the Arizona Cardinals. Potentially, they could be a contest play for me this week. Arizona.
That is bold. Are you sure you want to do that?
I mean, I don't know. I'll have to see who else is there, but I'm giving them a serious look. Obviously, the teaser potential is definitely there with this team.
Oh, tease the Cardinals up?
Yeah, because I think
there's better teaser potentials, but I'll hear you out.
I mean, I just think like the Cardinals are just going to fight. And if they're down 17, I could see them getting it to 14. Like if they're down 21, I could see them getting to 17. Like I just think this team is going to play till the final whistle, and they're coming off a tough loss. And Dallas, I could just see Dallas literally like this to me looks like a comfortable 10 to 13 point win for the Cowboys.
I can't fault you there. It's just
I mean, how
if
many
it's a
times have we
but if
seen-
it's a 13-point win, that covers.
Well, that's why it has teaser potential.
Yeah.
So I think it could be closer. Like,
By the way, to your point with the Chiefs at home, they failed to cover 3 of their last 4.
so I mean that is true. By the way, for the game under, and it should make sense based on my handicap, I could really see Dallas like their offense kicking a lot of field goals in this game.
I have the under 2, but for different reasons. But I'll continue. I'm sorry.
No, just real quick. Like, I could see Dallas being very sloppy in this game. And this could be like a, 23-14 just seems to me like the score of this game.
Yeah, under for Dallas. Dallas has gone under in 4 straight road games. 5 of their last 6 have also gone under. I'm going to go in reverse order. Here are the last few Dallas Cowboys games on the road. 0 points against the G-Men. 14 against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers
Was that like
in his last game,
Oh, okay.
playoffs. 13 against the Titans. 3 against the Minnesota Vikings.
I will say their defense could be a.
Now, mind you, you did say with Trayvon Diggs, Arizona Cardinals does not have Budda Baker either, so I kind of canceled them both out. I see this Dallas blowout kind of like you say, but if it's gonna be a blowout, it's got to be a blowout on both ends. If this is close, and then if this is even like a 10-point close game, Dallas is not covering. They may even risk not even winning. I just see this being like another shutout, Jetsy type game where it's like 30-10. They win by 20. And the Cardinals the Cardinals are overdue. I mean, let's be honest. They haven't won any of those
I
covers.
don't know how the hell they have 9 straight against the NFC. But I remember last week I laughed it off like, oh, well, the Giants need this game like blood. And, well, now I got Blaze running through my blood. So
Yeah. All right. Sunday night, Pittsburgh Steelers coming off the big Monday night win. Laying 2.5 on the road, plus 116. Raiders are minus 136 home favorites. Over-under is 43. Money Mansmann, are you backing the Raiders? Or are we getting another Mike Tomlin as a dog?
goddamn, another Steelers play.
That Blaze is burning through his veins.
No, it's I don't want to do it, but Steelers 3 weeks in a row. Is this really what's going to happen? Yeah, it is good. What's going to happen?
Oh, really?
Yeah, 4 straight wins and covers on the road. They're a good road team, especially and then you got Tomlin as an underdog in prime time. And look, honestly, truth be told, my thinking with this game, I think, what is it? Did I put the number here? I think it's the last 3 games these teams have played have been within 3 points. This is one where I just want the pointage on whoever the side is. These teams always seem to play relatively close games. And I'm just expecting this to be another close game. I don't think the Raiders have the defense to really punish the Steelers' offense in the same way as they have in previous weeks. And, I mean, you saw what the Bills' defense did to the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders can't run them.
I mean, I saw what they did in the first quarter. It wasn't much, but that's okay.
Well, I'm saying the Bills' defense against the Raiders, literally, the Raiders couldn't score after the first drive.
Yeah.
I could see Pittsburgh's defense doing similar. I'm expecting an under game. I'm expecting a close game. And, I mean, again, it's just when in doubt in a close game, Mike Tomlin plus points against Josh McDaniels. It's just, you kind of have to take the points in this. But could be wrong. Oh, here we go.
Okay. Just
He's putting the glasses on.
Just putting the glasses on. Just need to feel it. Need to feel confident for this one because this is, without a doubt, my least confident pick on the card. There's been a lot of close ones. There's been a lot of like games where I was just leaning.
As a Broncos fan, he's going to sell his soul to Satan.
I'm not a fan of fading Mike Tomlin as a dog. I'm not a fan of fading him after a win, considering he's 5-2-1 ATS. I'm not a fan of fading the Steelers in primetime, especially with Kenny Pickett 5-0 ATS in primetime
Are you
games.
sure you want to fucking do this?
4-1 straight up.
Like you're backing my side. Like, what are you doing here?
Oh, even worse. Jimmy G, last 5 Sunday night games, 2-3 straight up, 2-2 at home, but he was a Niner.
I'm crazy to see why you're. Good. You got to say it too. The Raiders.
The Raiders minus 2.5. I can't back Matt Canada again.
How could you lay points with this Raiders team?
This is the ultimate, like, the Steelers just came off a big win where the offense literally got 0 points. Deshaun Watson literally handed the game to them on a silver platter. And say what you will, like, literally, here's what happened in that Monday night game. They got a pick 6. Nick Chubb got injured. Nick Chubb was on pace to get like 120 yards rushing, probably a touchdown.
We even said if Chubb's in that game, we lose.
Deshaun Watson, mistake left and right. Say what you will about Jimmy G, I think he's more disciplined than Deshaun Watson. Yeah. And literally, like, again, I know this is a bad handicap, in my opinion. This is one I really wanted to take the Steelers. I just couldn't do it. Literally, like, my hand's on the finger. I can't do it. Which means I'm on the wrong side. In my opinion, like, if I can't hit the button, I'm not as confident. I gotta hit the other side. But, yeah, remember Jimmy G's game against the Broncos on Sunday night?
Sadly.
Yeah, Jimmy G's not good on Sunday night, but again, that was with the
I'm
Niners.
still waiting to hear why the Raiders is the right side of this game.
Really? When it comes-
everything you've said. Well, the Steelers are great in primetime. Jimmy G sucks. The Raiders suck.
I hate this.
Let me go with the Raiders.
I hate
why. I don't know.
Okay, so really, it's number one, the Steelers' offense might be the worst I've seen all season. I think I would, honest to God, like hand to God, I would argue
not good.
Justin Fields has produced more on offense than Kenny Pickett. Not through Kenny Pickett's fault, but the Steelers' offense has just been they've accounted for 7 points in 2 games.
Niners, Browns, though. Decent defenses.
Fair.
I mean,
Fair. But I also think you look at the Raiders game with the Bills, what happened? The first drive,
don't remind me.
Garoppolo basically balled it out to Devontae Adams. They got the touchdown. What happened the rest of the game? Josh Jacobs couldn't get a run in to save his life.
Yeah, the Bills D really.
The Bills D stuffed the Raiders rushing. Did you see the Steelers rush defense with Nick Chubb, with whoever I forget their backup was, Ford? Like,
yeah, I actually really like Josh Jacobs to have a good game.
yeah, and not only for Josh Jacobs' daily fantasy, but I think that like if the Raiders are able to establish the run, I saw what they did to Denver, and even though it was a barely close squeaky win, Jimmy G, the ultimate game manager, if he can get Josh Jacobs on the run, they could win this game. Because literally, Matt Canada, all you have to do on defensive quarter, okay, first play, halfback draw. Second play, read option, halfback draw. Third play, bubble screen to the side. If you just play your defense to that every drive, odds are you'll win this game. It's that predictable. That's my problem here. I love Tomlin as a dog. I love Tomlin in primetime. I really, really do. I was sick to my stomach knowing I bet on the Steelers last week because they should have lost to the Browns. And literally a sack fumble, a pick 6. I mean, come on, Jimmy G's not going to do that here. That's why. Yeah. I think not necessarily the Raiders, but I think Jimmy G is just too disciplined to really make those kind of mistakes. And I think if you get a quarterback who doesn't make those kind of mistakes, the Steelers won't win. They might keep it close. I'm not saying they won't cover. They might cover the 2.5. They do tend to play really close. Last point I'll make, Josh Jacobs. This is the first home game for the Raiders. It's a home debut. They normally bode well for them. I know they lost last year to the Cardinals, but I think they won like 3 or 4 straight prior to that. And Steelers' last 3 wins as road dogs, pretty fucking fraudulent. Steelers, they've won 3 in a row as road dogs. Here's the 3 wins. Are you ready, Jason? The Indianapolis Colts with Jeff Saturday as their coach and Matt Ryan.
Beat that Raiders team last year. But okay.
Sam Darnold and the Panthers.
Yuck.
The Ravens without Lamar Jackson. It was Tyler Huntley.
Yuck.
It was 16-3. Like, you look at the Steelers 4 games prior to that, they got fucking smoked as road dogs. They didn't even come close. They lost all 4. Favorites 2-0 straight up in ATS so far in Sunday Night Football this year. This is a game where, I hate to say it, I think the trend continues.
Well, I gotta say, you redeemed yourself in the second half of the handicap, that's for sure.
No, trust me, I know the stats are
First half was horrible.
No, the stats are against me 100%. I built myself up for that. But eye test, like looking at the eye test, and that's why I put the glasses on, because I didn't want to look at myself. The eye test just tells you, like, the Steelers' offense is too dreadful to bet money on.
Well, we have 2 games left. We both haven't given our dog of the week. Or
I'm scared.
Bets going to be the same?
I'm scared.
I think they are going to be. I think you're going to agree with my dog of the week.
If we do, this is dangerous.
I think there's only one play that could be dog of the week, but that's okay.
All right, I'll introduce it. You're going to go first.
Oh, no, just real quick.
Over, under, yes.
Yeah, under. The Steelers offense.
Under. Yeah, same here. Under play for me.
Like I said, really the points for me is just I expect it to be a close game.
Well, the Steelers and Raiders, too, you look at their last 3 or 4, it's been a dead under situation.
I definitely under.
And think of it, too, like what I said, Jimmy G, if he's going to have a terrible Sunday night game, they're not going to score.
I could see it being a lot like the Raiders-Broncos game where it's
17-16.
Yeah.
Yep, I could see that. All right, here we go. Monday night, and this is not a joke, we have another doubleheader on Monday Night Football. Mansmann.
Why they're doing that?
Yeah, what's your... Let me just mention... I don't get it. Like, why are we doing the doubleheader Monday night? 7:15. Like, if you just want to have an early Monday night game, just move the time.
Here's what's fucking stupid about it. God, this could be like one of those short fucking rants. What's stupid? You have them a doubleheader an hour apart, and you don't even have like fucking West Coast teams. Like your doubleheader was Saints, Panthers, Steelers, Browns. Like, are you fucking
all
stupid?
East Coast?
Like, when they've had doubleheaders before, it's like an East Coast team and a West Coast team, and at least it makes a little bit of like fucking sense. What possessed them to have a doubleheader on Monday night last? Like, it's just fucking dumb as shit. You want to put it on ABC? Just have the fucking game 8:15. Like,
and what's even worse is that unless you had the ESPN app, if you just have regular ass cable, you can't watch these games side by side. So for people like me who don't have like cable TV, I go through the ESPN app. I have ESPN Plus. May or may not have my parents' cable info, but that's okay.
Don't listen to that part. He didn't say.
But no, ESPN Plus is really all you need. I didn't know. Unless you go through the app, that's the only way you watch these games side by side. Otherwise, it's like a laptop and a TV, and it's just like you're literally like fighting for ratings for the same product. I don't get it. It's so bad. Like,
that setup I have in the basement is still up from last week. I literally had the fucking Monday night games on the 2 TVs.
That's pretty fucking sick. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. But it's fucking stupid. I don't know what...
I don't get it. But anyways, we got to get this going. The Eagles are laying 4.5 on the road against the Tampa Bay Bucks with Baker Mayfield. Minus 235. The over-under is 46. And Money Mansmann, Baker Mayfield and Jalen Hurts are both 2-0 quarterbacks. Go.
This to me is the pros versus Joes games.
I've heard that a lot.
The
But
Sharps,
elaborate.
the Sharps are fading the shit out of the Eagles, which is really weird because like a year ago, the Sharps were all over the Eagles. And this line shows you, I mean, it was 5.5 earlier in the week. A lot of the sharp bettors really are just pumping money into the Bucs and fading the shit out of the Eagles because they don't think they're as good. I'm on the Joe side. I'm going with the Eagles here. Minus 4.5. Great. Like,
Yep.
I know they hurt me. They hurt me on Thursday. I have some trauma from that game.
Oh, the Eagles because they didn't get the cover.
But they're really good. 10 straight wins as road favorites. They're really good as road favorites. And, I mean, no offense, like, this Tampa team is not good.
No.
Like, they beat the Bears, and they got lucky to beat the Vikings in a game that they shouldn't have won. And all of a sudden, this is a team that's going to cover a short spread against the defending NFC champs who, you know, I mean, like the Eagles game, they didn't look tremendous against the Vikings. They looked fine. It was a comfortable win. They weren't sweating in the last 2 minutes. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm against the Sharps, which is not a way to make
Not a profitable strategy.
not a profitable strategy by any means. But yeah, I'm going on the Joe side. I'm going with the Eagles here.
Well, I'll say this: if pros always won against the Joes, there wouldn't be sports books. Because everybody would just hit the pro side and everybody would win money and it would be a happily ever after. I'm with you on this one. The Joes have to win one. This is the one. I don't understand why the line movement's gone down. Like it's like I get the Eagles maybe have a Super Bowl hangover situation. They're still 2-0. They beat the Pats and like literally game managed the win. They beat the Vikings, game managed it to a win. I would argue they're getting, like, the easiest opponent they've had this year.
And the lowest line.
It's absurd. Like, 4.5, they could win this by 5. They literally did that week 1.
And it's not like the Eagles are a sham road team. They're good on the road.
Very good. Listen, this is a less is more handicap. There's a time to fade Baker Mayfield. This is the time. Prime time. He's smelling himself. Their team is successful. And don't get me wrong. You give me the 4 NFC South teams. I do think the Bucs look the best out of the 4 of them. But that's like looking at 4 different turds on the ground and arguing which one's the prettiest, you know? Or, you know, you go to prom here in Carroll County and you find the girl with the most teeth. You know.
Facts.
Like, I mean, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing, folks? I don't understand. Baker Mayfield, not only is he not good against good teams, he's not good in prime time. He's lost outright and thrown an interception in 4 straight Monday night games. His only Monday Night Football win was against Sam Darnold and the Jets back in 2019.
Who is the Beyta interception prop coming back?
I think it is because the Eagles defense has not been performing as spectacular as you would think. This is a get-right game for me where I think that happens. Baker makes some mistakes. He fumbles and bumbles. I'm actually half tempted to play anytime touchdown Eagles defense.
They look good week 1. I mean, let's be honest, even week 2 to start the game. I mean, there was a time when the Eagles had 22 fantasy points on defense.
Yeah, and I'll be fair. Jalen Hurts, he's also lost 2 of his last 3 Monday Night Monday Night Football games. He also has an interception in each game. Also, in fairness, the Bucs have won 4 straight against the Eagles, and the Eagles have won 11 straight road games. Why can't this be 12? I don't know. Minus 5.5 would be one thing to say to take the Bucs, because I mean, how many games have ended by 5 with this Eagles? With this Eagles team.
If this is 4.5, this will in all likelihood be on the contest card.
Yeah, Tampa hasn't covered in either one of these 2 matchups as home dogs. against Mount St. Mary's alumni Todd Bowles. Shout out Todd Bowles.
Shout out to both.
Shout out alumni.
Mountain alum.
No, this line is too small to back Baker Mayfield here. I would like Baker Mayfield as an 8.5 point dog.
I think this is Tampa come back down to earth game. Like they're not as good as people think. They're no business being 4.5 point, dogs in this game.
Now, I will say I do expect this to be an under game. I think it'll be a close under. I don't think it's going to be like easy and obvious. The Eagles have been playing way too conservatively lately, and Baker just seems overdue for a pick six. So the question is, will there be garbage time points? Will there be a garbage pick six that just pushes this on the over?
This is interesting. I actually like the over because I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to run the ball as well as they have the past 2 weeks. I could see Jalen Hurts, this being the game Jalen Hurts finds himself and throws some deep bombs.
Does Baker lay an egg, though, and get doodlebot?
Well, does he also throw 2 pick sixes?
Yeah, it's fair.
I could see this being like 34-16. I really could.
I can't blame it. And you see, I think 30-16. But it'll be like 27-3 at halftime. And
Could this be another Eagles first half?
I think it has to be. I mean, what else would you do?
Well, especially, too, when the line is like this, you might get the Eagles under a field goal.
God, you know what?
I'm telling you, the first half especially, you got to give it looks. When the line's like 4.5, 5.5, you're probably getting the Eagles under a field goal first half. You might have to give a serious look to that.
God, you know what? I think I have to do. I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do this live. Producer John, hit that button. I'm doing it live.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, I'm hitting that Eagles first half. I'm hitting the Eagles first half spread.
I'm telling you, man, first half, I'm discovering my niche. I'm literally, forget CLV king. I'm going to be the first half king. That's what I'm going to try.
Ooh, that's interesting. It moved to 5 on DraftKings.
Damn, pretzel.
Do I switch to FanDuel? Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Why? Because I hit that same game parlay. That's why.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So I'm on the under for this game. All right. Final game. I can't believe this is happening.
Well, we have our corporation bet. So Patriots minus 2.5. Rams, what do you have? +3?
+3.
That's insane to me. This is like insanity. And Detroit over, right?
Detroit over.
Here's our corporation play.
That's the corporation bet. We'll introduce the last game.
You made the last one, so I'll make this one.
Yeah, I'll introduce the last game. It is the LA Rams going on the road, non-conference road dog, +2.5, +120, going against the Cincinnati Bengals. Laying -142 on that money line. Over under 43.5. And
why don't you tell us why it's our dog of the week?
NFC non-conference game. Hit the trend. There's 4 non-conference games this week. I'm going to 3-1 ATS for the NFC. The only one I'm afraid of is the Bills. And like I said in that handicap, folks, the Bills tend to beat the spread against NFC teams. They tend to be good in that spot.
Oh, down to 2.
Against a fraudulent 2-0 team. The Rams, you can look at it 2 ways, because like I did in the Pittsburgh game, there is a lot going against us. Stafford has actually never beaten the Bengals in the regular season. 0-3. That was all in his time in Detroit. He's 1-4 straight up in road games against the AFC North in his last 5. But
2.5. Do we let's spread to 3.5?
Oh no, we still take it.
2.5?
No, we're taking the 2.5. Oh no,
Continue.
I'm taking the 2.5 here.
Okay, me too.
No, as a Lion, 1-4 straight up in road games against the AFC North. 2-0 though as a Ram. He beat the Ravens in Week 16 in the 21-22 season, and obviously, guys, in the Super Bowl they beat the Bengals there. Yeah, the Rams may have beaten this team in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. They are 3-1 straight up against the AFC North. in road games. They haven't covered in 4 straight against
10
AFC
to
North.
win 59-6. Corporation.
6-1.
6-1.
Oh, that's not bad.
Do we lock it?
I think we should.
Court bet locked.
Court bet locked.
We got the over 46.5 for Falcons Lions.
Nice. I'll take it.
Patriots 2.5. Rams 2.5. Okay, sorry. Continue.
Fucking love it. All right. Anyways, yeah. Ultimately, you look at both these teams. There's one clear thing. The Rams are just more in sync as a team. They're more real, in my opinion, more realistic to win this matchup. Stafford has looked really good in his last 2 games. 300 passing yards in each one. Heavily relying on the running back and the yards after catch with this current receiving core. That's what's going to get them this win here, though. The Bengals, Joe Burrow injury is very real. And I wish I did this last year with Stafford, because had I known, I probably would have won money off of him. But this year, like with Burrow, the injury is not only real, the Bengals' rush defense, beyond piss poor. They allowed Cleveland to rush for 206 yards, the Ravens to rush for 178. And with Matt Stafford literally having to hand the ball off probably 25 times here, but he also does have the ability to throw it for 300 yards, this could be an offensive barrage. I just don't know if the Bengals have the defense to handle it here. And like I said, Joe Burrow has not looked good. And even on defense, the Rams held Geno to 112 yards. He held Brock Purdy to 200. They held Brock Purdy 206. So I think the Rams defense might actually be starting to look better. Joe Burrow, like, this could be the fall from grace here from him. And I don't know. Like, he hasn't been the same since that injury. Really hasn't been the same since he lost to the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
I want to lock this in now. Like, this is a game I want to lock in now and potentially bet more if Burrow plays, because the line will go up even more. First off, like we said, the trends are actually mixed, because
they are mixed.
They've played close games recently, and Cincinnati's actually lost 6 straight games against the NFC West. So it's not completely sort of against the Rams in terms of their failed covers against the AFC. But point being, like, Joe Burrow's clearly not 100%. We know this. If he plays, this line's going to go up to 3.5, 4. If he doesn't play, the Rams are going to be the favorite. And I'll tell you, there was telling news today, and I'm shocked the line didn't move more. Cincinnati signed a 3rd-string quarterback today. Something going on outside.
Huh.
Weird.
I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. So
Yeah. Cincinnati signed a 3rd-string quarterback today. Anyone who's sharp knows that's a tell that it's possible their 1st stringer may not be in for the game. This is like a free roll.
who's their backup?
Uh,
It's not Brandon Allen, I can tell you that.
I mean, if it was, would we be scared? No.
No. Jake Browning.
On it, yeah. This will probably be a Rams money line.
Why didn't you do the money? Damn.
I haven't bet it yet. I'm going to bet it now because
Because if this changes, do the Rams go up as a favorite?
yeah, I mean, the Rams could go up as maybe for the court bet. I should have done
That's okay.
Rams.
By the way, Rams money line, Eagles minus 3.5 first half, plus 340. Money Mansmann.
Oh, do you want me to change to Rams money line? I could do that. I could get a cash out for.
Oh, do it. Yeah, no, do it now.
All right, so we're changing. So this court bet, we're going Rams money line here.
Doing it live.
Plus 120. So we're getting 30 cents of value there.
By the way, your Eagles first half spread, you can get the Eagles minus 3.5 at plus 100 on FanDuel.
Oh, see, I'd really like under a field goal.
See, you get picky, man.
Wow, the over 46.5 minus 105. Oh, by the way, we got $10 of value there.
Did we really?
Now at plus 700.
Shit, I'll take it.
Court bet plus 700.
Lock it in.
It's locked.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, I think the Rams are outright winners. I really like them against the Bengals. Even if Joe Burrow plays, honestly, Joe Burrow plays, I'm probably doubling down on the Rams. Especially if I have a good week, got some mug in my pocket.
Double, say it with me. Double dog of the week.
Double dog. So that's crazy. This is the first time ever
That is a
we've
first.
done this. Best bet the same, dog the same, over under the same. Wow.
That is
What a way to end the... Oh, real quick. I like the over because Cincinnati has no defense.
I do
Zero
also
defense.
like the over.
I could see the Bengals getting some garbage tutties. Like,
The only concern is if it's a backup quarterback.
well, that's why it's not a high confidence play for me. Because if it's a backup
The
quarterback,
question is, do you play kind of like what we're doing with the money line? Do you play under now? And then if a backup does come in, do you hit the over when this line drops six points? Try to middle it somewhere. You know what I mean?
that's interesting.
Ooh, you can get. Oh, it's the same line. Oh no, go to FanDuel. Yeah. So again, look at your sports books. Eagles minus 3.5 first half on DraftKings minus 108 on FanDuel plus 100.
See, I really want 2.5 for the Eagles. Come on, Sharps. Sharps, you want to pound that Bucks team. They're looking good. Baker Mayfield, that's really good. But okay, all right. So we made it through the whole card.
We made it through 16 games.
We went late, but it was a good. I can't believe how much in sync we are. That's awesome.
This was a hard week for sure. This was one that really wasn't 100% confident on compared to last week, and especially when you're on a heater. I will say I'm a lot more confident now, knowing that
I think
this is the third week in a row. I think we've been like damn near lockstep on most of these games. Like,
well, no, last week every game I went against you, I fucking lost. So I'm gonna feel a lot better, and I think this week we could clean up.
all right, Money Mansmann, give out your best bets, give out your degenerate plays.
Well, here
we already did it, but
here we go. Okay, here are the show bets. Best bet: Patriots minus 2.5. Has Zach Wilson ever been good against New England?
no.
No. Underdog of the week: Rams plus 2.5. We'll go with. Again, Joe Burrow. Is he even going to play? I don't think so. Even if he does, I like the Rams even more. Over under of the week: 46.5. Falcons Lions. Have the Lions ever had an under in their stadium? Not in a long time. It seems like they're always scoring 30 there.
And it seems like their opponent's scoring 32.
Yeah, so expect a track meet there. Those were our best bets sort of there. I'll give you sort of a couple outside ones.
Yeah, we'll
The
go.
first half Chargers, basically like even money, like that one as a potential. And the other one was, oh God, who was the other first half? Shit, I forgot who.
Philly.
Well, besides Philly, there was another. Oh man, that's bad. I completely forgot. First half. Hold on. 3.
Was it? Oh, we talked about it. Chargers first half.
No, I liked the Chargers first half.
Titans?
Fuck me. I thought there was another first half I liked. Oh, I think it might have been was it the Patriots first half?
Why not?
I think it was the Patriots first half because it was close to 3, and you could potentially get that under a field goal.
Okay.
But I might be wrong.
All right. Bonus plays. Under of the week. Under 48.5. Kansas City, Chicago.
One of the rare.
One of our heads ups.
Yeah, one of the ones I don't certify.
Fade of the week. Denver plus 6.5.
Indoors.
Team total play for Big Bucks Beta. Cardinals under 14.5. Dallas's defense shows up on the road, folks. I gave out the numbers in the handicap where they shut teams down. This could be the one.
I don't despise it. I could see 24-14.
Last play. Houston, 8.5. Lock it in.
I think what I'm going to do, guys, I will post my contest picks later on. That's really more,
Yeah, you have to do it closer to game time anyway.
yeah,
so.
that's more of a game time, and the lines are different on the contest, so I'll post them then.
All right, and again, I'll throw out final numbers again real quick. I know we did this in the recap. I'll do it real quick, guys. If you're thinking about fading us, if you're thinking about like what the fuck do these guys know, I'll just give you my numbers: 18-12-1 ATS, 18-3 money line. I am not good on the over-unders, though, right now. 15-16-1, barely under 50%.
Yeah, no, you're doing much. Honestly, fade big bucks at your own risk. I'm 500, but I'm on big bucks this week, so I'm with big bucks. We're gonna
Not even planned. Not even planned.
Not even. I thought we were gonna fight, but we've been lockstep, so that's exciting.
That's exciting. All right, D-Gents, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, John, producer, for having us here once
sorry
again.
we went late, but appreciate it.
All right. Have a good night, D-Gents. And as always,
Make that
that motherfucking
motherfucking money.
money.